Ahava, blessings, and welcome to this video. I am going to talk a little bit about Mary Magdalene because I know that I share on my YouTube channel and through different social media platforms information about Mary Magdalene and about our mystery school and a lot of channelings, and I just published my second book, Conversations with Mary Magdalene. But a lot of you have written to me these beautiful emails and these private messages through social media asking me who she was. And it's such a basic question, but I think it's such an important question. So I'm just going to give a brief overview, because to talk about Mary Magdalene is just to be here hours with you. I really could, and that's why our priestess training is actually so profound and so in-depth, because there's so much about Mary Magdalene. But I do want to share some information with you just to accompany those who have asked me, but who was she? Because her energy is so present on the planet right now, and as humans we have the tendency to create archetypes that we need at certain moments. Not that we need to evolve, that come to evolve, but we need to maybe propagate some type of subconscious pattern, okay? So there's a lot being said about her, and right now she's a lot being said about her as maybe a sexual priestess or a sexual prostitute, or a liberator of the sexual taboo. She's a lot more than that, okay? So I'm just going to talk about this right now briefly. And so the first thing I want to say is that I always open up my videos with the word Ahava. And Ahava is an ancient Hebrew word, biblical word. And the first time I received the presence of Mary Magdalene physically in 2011, this is what she said to me. And I didn't really think it was a word. I thought it was just a sound. Until I started realizing that that's the way she said hello to me every day. She would say Ahava when she would come, and when I would channel her, but mostly when I would receive her presence. And I just started using this word, and I never really looked it up. Because when she appeared to me in her presence and her channelings, I just had faith in her message. I didn't really need to find information about what she was saying, because I felt that it was real. So I just started using the word, and then a few months later I did realize when it came to me that it was a Hebrew word meaning love, but it's not the way we perceive love today in the West. If we think love, we have different definitions of love. It's an action. It's a love based on action, and a love based on devotion, and a love based on a divine union with God, Goddess, and with everything that we are in relationship with. So it's love, you know, it's love, the love that just takes us to be in action, to show that love, and to be in love with everything that we are doing, with everyone that we are speaking to, and with, and all the relationships around us. So I just wanted to explain that, because that word Ahava just demonstrates and explains who she is as an energy field, because she is the vibration of love, and she is the vibration of unification. Now, Mary Magdalene was a spiritual teacher, a powerful female spiritual teacher who is now fulfilling the prophecy of the feminine Christ, of the Messiah, the Kala Messiah, the feminine Messiah. She is the Holy Bride, and just as Yeshua called her, she is the cosmic virgin and the one who knows all. So she was a powerful spiritual teacher, and she was the beloved of Yeshua, beloved and wife of Yeshua, and both of them came from very powerful lineages, divine royal lineages, the lineage of the line of David and the line of Benjamin, Mary Magdalene, and their marriage symbolized the healing of Israel, and not Israel just as a land, because we tend to think of Israel as a land. Israel as the holy land within, which is the template of divine union. So their marriage was prophesied as well, and they were a sacred holy couple. Yeshua was the creator and founder of a Christ school, and Mary Magdalene joined him in this Christ school, and they both worked together as spiritual teachers and as spiritual partners. It is true that Mary Magdalene did work with women, a lot with women, and she initiated and ordained women in priestesshood because that's what was needed, just as it is needed now in this day and age, because we are going into the femme consciousness, the age of femme consciousness that goes beyond matriarchy and beyond patriarchy. It's something totally different, and it's allowing the template of the Divine Mother to come down here on earth and be in balance with the Divine Masculine. So, and the work that she started 2,000 years ago is actually now being continued by all of us who are opening up to receive her Magdalene flame and her Magdalene vibration. So as a spiritual teacher, she did teach women. And then as a spiritual co-teacher with Yeshua, they taught the path of sacred humanity, what I call humanology. Sacred humanology according to the teachings of Mary Magdalene. And so they were spiritual teachers. And their spiritual school, which we can call the Christ school, which shouldn't be confused with the Church of Christianity or Catholicism, which came a lot later. But the School of Christ was a school that venerated the Divine Feminine and believed in the path of the awakening of the Divine Feminine, and not just as an energy of receiving the Shekinah, the Holy Spirit, which is the sacred feminine presence, but going back to honor the soul, allowing the feminine principle to be in balance with the masculine principle, and not just to be in balance, to create the balance. That balance is created by the feminine principle, because we are all initiated by a woman. And who is our first initiator? Our mother. Because we are in her womb and we come to life. We come here on this material plane through the mother's womb. So the feminine initiates. So it's when we go back into the feminine, which is inside. Remember, the yoni is inside. All of the feminine energy is inside. What we do is we go into sacred relationship with the soul. And this is a basic teaching of Mary Magdalene and Yeshua. And in Mary Magdalene, when it was prophesied, Yeshua knew that there was going to be a feminine Christ 2,000 years later, and that she would come to the planet. And through everything that is going on right now, we can see the chaos, we can see the changes. She's here. And he knew this. And this is why he gave what I call the crown to Mary Magdalene when Yeshua was crucified. And when he left his physical body, she became the leader of the school. And that's why in France, she had her ministry. She had her teachings. She had her teachings with men and women, and also with just women. So to talk about Mary Magdalene in just a short little video is very difficult for me because there's so much about her. As a spiritual teacher, she is not just here to awaken the wild feminine and the sexual energy. She awakens everything. Okay, she can awaken that in you. That's what needs to be awakened. This right now is regarding women, then I'll talk about men and women. But what she actually awakens is our creative sexual energy, our serpent energy. And when she awakens this energy, whatever you need to be awakened within you, that is what will happen. So it's all about healing, but it goes beyond the idea of healing, because when we work with the shadow with Mary Magdalene, it's not the typical shadow work. It's shadow work based on a knowing that we are light and that we have chosen this incarnation to purify all these different personalities that we start to acquire throughout our lifetime and many other lifetimes. So Mary Magdalene was a powerful spiritual teacher. She was the cosmic virgin because she was sovereign. She was androgynous. Through her sacred practice, she knew how to channel her sexual energy. She knew how to open up and be the divine chalice to receive the Holy Spirit. She married the mother. She did. She married the mother. She married the earth. She is sacred bride to the divine. She is sacred bride to Yeshua. And she is sacred bride to humanity and to the earth. Her teachings are very, very powerful. And these are the teachings that we need right now. We need the teachings of knowing how to be here as divine humans, and allowing us to live in our own creative sexual energy, allowing us to find the way to reclaim our destiny, and at the same time knowing that everything that we accomplish in our evolution as souls actually influences and permeates and goes and affects everything around us. So there's so many spiritual schools, and we know that, and that's the beauty of being in a community. And Mary Magdalene is a very powerful spiritual lineage. She's related to the lineage of the Black Madonna and the lineage of Venus. So within our school, just to talk a little bit about that, we work with this lineage. We work with the true essence of the teachings of Mary Magdalene, not just with my channelings, but with all of the Gnostic Gospels and the teachings of the Christ school, the teachings of the mystery school of Christ and the mystery school of Mary Magdalene. So we know that as a sacred couple, they really were well studied in different manifestations of spiritual schools. They studied the Hindu mysticism, Egyptian mysticism, Hebrew mysticism, paganism of the land, which means pagan comes from paganis, which means from the land. So they integrated all of these different wisdom schools because they believed in the path of unification. So within our school, we do all of these teachings, and we focus a lot on the body. We focus a lot on spiritual practice, not just based on our awareness and our ritual, our ceremony, our devotion, but physically we work the body a lot to understand that the body is the technology that will bring us and open us up to all of these teachings. So Mary Magdalene is goddess, spiritual teacher, activator of the human consciousness and human ascension. She is a vibration. She is beloved. She is woman. She is priestess. She is the Kala Messiah. And when we allow her to enter into our lives, there's a very, very strong healing. And Mary Magdalene is for men and women. And I know that many men embrace the Magdalene flame. But I know we're in a moment right now where women were just claiming this energy because we need to become the Magdalene to go into this unification process. But she's here to teach all of us because she is the prophesied Christ. She was prophesied by the ancients. She was prophesied by the King Solomon. She was prophesied by the ancient Druids. And now she's here. And how is she here? She needs us to open up as a sacred vessel. She needs us because she needs bodies so that her vibration can come through all of us and ground here on the earth. So Mary Magdalene, I'll be sharing more about Mary Magdalene and some of the meditations that I channel through her active meditations and mudras, because I think it's very important. And in my book, Conversations with Mary Magdalene, I do give a few spiritual practices and meditations that I channel through her. And I think that if you read my book, Conversations with Mary Magdalene, you will receive a lot of information of how her channel is being expressed, delivered, and received here in this moment on the planet. Thank you so much for listening, and I hope that all of you who have sent me these wonderful emails, you have found the answers to your questions.